Alright guys, if you've clicked on this video, you've clicked on this video for one reason and one reason alone. You want to know what's going on with the FTC and warrior trading. Now, I've done a video in the past talking about my opinion of warrior trading and Ross in general. So if you guys haven't seen that, click the link up here, check that out, and then come back to this video. Now, this is essentially a part 2 to that video, and we have some concrete information here letting us know what's going on with the advertising and advertisement that the bigger traders are using to sell their courses, sell their services in the community. Now, I want to say that this video is not to bash Ross or bash warrior trading. In fact, those of you who know me know that a lot of what I'm doing here is because of Ross, right? Ross is a very inspiring guy for me. I've learned how to trade strictly from watching his YouTube videos, man. Now, you see what I just said there? What did I just say right there? That is what this will be about, right? This entire video will be about how we say things. Now, because I mentioned I've learned how to trade from watching Ross's videos alone, does that mean you will learn how to trade from watching Ross's videos alone? No, it will not. And so much of what's going on in the world today, when we talk about cancel culture and, all the different movements that's going on, guys, we got to be careful with how we word things. Now, that's a lot of what I'm seeing is going on right here. We will see all the ads. I mean, eat, sleep, trade. You don't need $10,000 to make money in the stock market. I mean, so many different approaches, right? The Lambos, the mansions, the boats. I mean, you name it, it's out there, right? Now, this video will have two approaches. One as the student, one as the consumer, right? The student and the consumer versus the teacher and the content creator, right? Those of us who are YouTubers and posting content to YouTube and other platforms, showing people what we do or even teaching people what we do. And so let's get into it. So the FTC cracks down on warrior trading for misleading consumers with false false investment promises. Now, if you are not familiar, the article came out a couple days ago on April 19th. So if we go back about a year, right, I believe Raging Bull came under some fire. An investigation was launched against them. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with those ads, right? Hey, I'm Jeff Bishop, Raging Bull, such and such. Now, those guys made a lot of money from their courses, about 135 million plus or minus, somewhere there was the number that was mentioned back then. And it was very similar to what we're seeing now. Hey, the way how you're marketing is unrealistic. You're creating a false expectation for traders in the community. Now, guys, I want to start off by giving an example, right? And trading, there's a bad stigma. There's a very awful stigma about day trading, and it's because of, in my opinion, the success stories, the Dogecoins, the Bitcoins, the Shiba coins, the GameStops of the world. Hey, you might hear such and such, a friend of a friend, a co-worker, a brother, a sister, an in-law, someone that you know through some form have made a come up, right? A come up. That's the word I want to use right here, right? They've made some sort of large gain from the market, and they came and they spread the good news. And that, in my opinion, is bad for the market in the sense that a lot of people are coming in thinking that they can be a successful trader in a short time frame, get rich quick, right? In a short time frame, that's the key. A lot of people are thinking they can do it in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months. I mean, we have the videos on YouTube with millions of views. Hey, I day traded with this amount of money for this amount of time, a day or a week, and this is my results. Now, guys, think about this example. In order to be a doctor, a lawyer, you'll have to pass some sort of centralized examination, the bar, the MCATs. Now, to be a professional trader, you do have to get your license as well. And because of the advancements in technology and how brokers are now set up, right? Brokers are no longer people anymore to a degree. They're now softwares, right? Robinhood, E-Trade, Lightspeed, all these different brokers. And through these brokers, they offer us, through a third-party system, a license to be able to trade stock. Now, can I walk into a hospital and say, let me perform this next surgery? Let's say go into a brain surgery, a brain operation, and say, hey, I got next. That's not how it would work, obviously in a hospital. But with trading, because of the uniqueness of this field, we have the ability to be able to go into market on our own without any sort of concentration or specialty or education. And that's where people get it twisted, man, because this whole field is risky, just like every other business that's out there. Doctors are going to school not for 4, but about 8 to 12 years, guys. University, and then, grad school, maybe med school, and, the all 9 yards, right? They're going through a lot of formal education to be able to become proficient, efficient, and successful in their concentration. The market is no different. The market is like any other field, any other business, where you have to approach it with a level of seriousness and a level of integrity and respect to be able to be successful. And it takes years, it takes months, years. Maybe we'll have a genius who can do it in a few months, right? It takes years, though, for most people I know, for everyone I know, and not even most, everyone I know, years, man, years to be able to master your emotions, master the technicals, the fundamentals, and be able to become profitable. Now, these success stories will have traders coming in, or not even traders, you can't even call them traders, people coming in thinking they're gonna do it, and it's just not a realistic approach, guys. So when we talk about the consumer and the student side of things, right, this side, we got to have realistic expectation, guys, realistic expectations, and understand that the market is not just this game that anybody can come and play and make money right away, right? So we have to also hold ourselves accountable, because even if right, even if someone is out there saying, hey, what's a good example, hey, well, I can't think of a great example that's appropriate here, but there's a lot of different fields out there, where you can't be gullible, man. Most traders are of age. This is a very mature field, a very mature audience. People who are above the ages of 18. On my YouTube analytics, I'll see that majority of people are 25 years old or above, right? So we're people who have experience for the most part, right? We're people who've been through a lot of different things and learned a lot. So when we have someone saying, it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So we have to first use our judgment as human beings to be able to decipher what's real and what's not, right? That's the first thing, right? So on the side of the students, we have to also hold ourselves accountable. The side of the consumer, we have to hold ourselves accountable. Now, to go on in the article, it says the Federal Trade Commission is cracking down on warrior trading, day trading investment scheme for making misleading and unrealistic claims of big investment gains to consumers. The FTC alleges that warrior trading and its CEO Ross Cameron used those claims to convince consumers to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for their trading system that ultimately failed to pay off for most customers. Now, as a result, the FTC will be charging warrior trading $3 million, right? $3 million to be refunded to consumers, and will be prohibited from making baseless claims about the potential for consumers to earn money using their trading strategies. Now, when we go back a year ago to Raging Bull, right? Jeff Bishop, Raging Bull. Those guys, it was said that they made about $135 million selling courses before the FTC had intervened and started to hand down some punishments, right? And back then, we saw Ross take down some videos and, maybe deleted some tweets, those type of things. And that's normal. That's natural when you see one of your peers, essentially, someone that's on your level of scaling, your level of ranking, coming under fire for certain things. Of course, naturally, you're going to look to protect yourself. That's just human nature, right? So what was Ross doing, right? And, the way how I look at it from the other side now, as someone who is a content creator, borderline teacher, because at this point I'm almost a teacher full on, right? We have to be careful how we say certain things. And a year ago in Ross's videos, he wasn't specifying, I would say, enough. He wasn't as upfront and bold about, hey, we'll see it now, as you saw at the beginning of this video. Guys, day trading is risky. It's now pasted in a nice big yellow sticker. Day trading is risky. Most traders lose money. And my results are not the typical results of someone who's learning and someone who's even been trading for years. My results are not the typical results. And I think that's where Ross and maybe Warrior Trading and a lot of these other companies, Raging Bull and so forth, had issues. And it's what I'm seeing now as a smaller trader that I have to do to protect myself, because I do plan on growing this channel, right? Right now, think about it right now. I'm not selling a course, right? I'm not selling a course, but from what I'm showing people every day, as someone who's been able to become profitable over the years, I have a lot of confidence. And when people ask me, hey, can I become a successful trader as well? I say yes, because I don't view myself as some sort of genius or, anything like that. I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm not one of these crazy guys with a high intellect and high IQ, but I was able to get it done. So if I can get it done, of course other people can get it done too, right? So with myself, that's how I also have to look at it, because I'm here sharing, hey, as long as you keep working and grinding and you can be successful, I also will have to watch this as a learning experience. Now, let's move on with the article, right? The article says Warrior Trading is paying a heavy price for misleading consumers with bogus money-making claims, right? Now, let's scroll on down a little bit and look at some of the quotes that are in bolded. And it says, hey, learn to trade with clarity towards the financial freedom you've always wanted. Now, if you ask me if that quote is a bad quote, I don't think there's anything wrong with that quote, right? If I'm selling a course and I have a lot of confidence in my classes, how I've made the classes, a lot of integrity there, I would feel confident enough to say, hey, learn to trade with clarity towards your financial freedom you've always wanted. Now, trading is a vehicle to help provide us with another source of income. And in any journey of adding an additional source of income, it's only for one thing. No matter how you want to phrase it, whether it's for financial freedom, to build wealth, to make more money, to have more cash flow, different streams, however you want to word that, I think is the same thing. So I don't think anything is wrong with this first quote that's there, right? But here's where we get into a little bit, it gets a little tricky, a little dicey. It says, learn how I've made over 100,000 in verified profits day trading part-time in under 45 days. Now, did Ross make 100,000 in verified profits trading part-time in 45 days? Yes, that's factual. Now, this is where there's an X. Using 3 simple strategies that you can now use immediately, underline that word immediately, to increase profits and reduce losses, right? Underline 3 simple strategies and underline immediately. That is the problem with this sentence right here, guys. Day trading, and you know, it's so crazy because I had someone on Instagram call me yesterday. MG, big shout out, right? An African guy, right? I believe in he told me he was in Nigeria, and he was asking me, as a beginner, what should I focus on and dial in on to help, you know, increase my to help speed up my process, right? And he was telling me, you know, for example, if you're coaching in basketball, what would you focus on first? Would you tell your new players to dribble the basketball, work on your handling, and then maybe the layups versus, let's say, the three-point shot? What would you tell traders to focus on as beginners? And I told him, man, you know what? That's hard to do, man, because there's not just one, or in this case, three simple strategies. There's not just three things that we need to focus on. Trading, there's so many variables, and we have to work for so long and for so hard to help to connect the dots to make it all make sense. There might be 20 different things that you have to be paying attention to at every given time, and doing it well all along, as well as managing your emotions to be able to be making so much money in a short time frame. So we can see why they're cracking down on Ross, and it's a lot more of, hey, you got to be careful how you say things, you know. And you know, once again, for me, as someone who's watching this as a learning experience, I got to watch myself with how I make the videos, you know. I got to let it be known up front as well that, hey, whether with disclaimers or different things, that trading is risky, it's hard, it's not easy, it never will be, it never was, you know. And so it takes years to master the art, man. It takes years. Start trading, here's the next quote, start trading over my shoulder, side by side with me, because I guarantee you that next week, the week after that, I'll be trading the one or two stocks each day that moves up 20 to 30%, right? Now, there's other incentives to be able to listen to someone trade live. But when you phrase it like, hey, trade side by side with me over my shoulder, you know, like over my shoulder, that's not the right way to phrase it. It's like, hey, guys, I go live every weekday morning. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys are interested in seeing, this is kind of how I'm imagining myself saying something like this, you know. If you guys are interested in seeing how I get it done, if you guys want to see what I do real time to help manage my emotions, come up with a game plan and my watch list, you guys can check out the stream. Check out the Relentless class, you know. That's kind of how I would say it. And so we got to watch ourselves whether we're a teacher or a content creator and we're putting out the information, and if we're on the other side as a consumer, right, or a student, we got to have our walls up in a sense, right? We have to use our best discretion and our experience that we've gained so far to this point to make an educated decision, whether that's in subscribing to a channel to a lesser degree or buying a course or whatever it might be. So, you know, Raging Bull came under a lot of heat for this type of thing. We're seeing Ross having to pay a $3 million fee, or I should say Warrior Trading. Now, if I'm to make a guess, Warrior Trading probably is up there at 100 million. I mean, I don't know. It's nowhere to really say it's guaranteed, because I know on the back end, the expenses are probably, you know, very high. When we talk about a simulation, and the scanners and those type of things, it's hard to really gauge how expensive that would be. But, you know, there's employees and payroll. I mean, there's so much. It's very deep when you own a company of, you know, especially when your company starts to scale a little bit, you know, the developers, all that stuff. So, you know, I'm pretty sure the company is very successful. And so, you know, 3 million is definitely a good, you know, nudge to let us know that, hey, it's time to be careful, watch what we say, how we say it. And, from the consumer standpoint, we also want to be very careful about what we do, how we approach the market, how we approach anything, because guess what, guys? It's all risky. I know this is not what some of you might want to hear. I made a video recently talking about credit card arbitrage and how I was able to use money from credit cards to be able to trade, and how I've turned that into, all the gains that I have to this point. Now, I made that video, and I was very sure to give a disclaimer early in the video, letting people know that this is risky and that it's something that only works for those people who might be in the right situation and that type of a thing. But, the comment section was very, very against the idea. Now, guys, depending on who you are, how bad you want it, and how much confidence you have, you got to ask yourself something. Do you accept the risk? Do you accept the risk? I accepted the risk. I accept the risk every day. I accept the risk always. And that's not just with day trading. No matter what field you're going into, guys, that could be drop shipping, that could be real estate, multifamily real estate, commercial real estate. It could be anything. I mean, literally, it could be brick and mortar. Every business, every field, every decision that we're making towards our careers and our investments and these type of things are associated with risk. Are some fields a little less riskier? Of course. Are some fields more risky? Of course. And you as the individual is the only constant. How well can you manage the risk? There's videos out there, tens and thousands of videos talking about that, you might not need a course, right? Sometimes a course might not be necessary. All it takes is time, years, dedication. You'll hear all these different things, but at the end of the day, it comes down to you, man. For each their own. And there's videos that even I will have about warnings about starting small, right? Starting small, 5 shares a day. But how many people can really go in and take 5 shares a day for 2 years before they become profitable? How many people? 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 people. 1 out of 10 people. And it's why right now I share everything that if I'm to be brutally honest, it's why I share everything right now, and I don't care about having people pay and having to be worried, because at the end of the day, trading is a competition. Some people will never tell you this for business reasons or to grow their channel reasons. Trading is a competition. It's me versus you, you versus me, and we're going against the high frequency traders, we're going against the algorithms, we're going against the institutions, we're going against the brokers, we're going against the market makers. Guys, it's a competition. And the reason I can post everything and not worry is because I know that not everyone, and it shows me every day with the people who are watching to the end of the video, guys. Only 15%, 20% of people are watching to the end of the video. By this point, people have already clicked off. 60% of people already clicked off of this video at this time, and it's why they will never learn. They don't take the time. Hey, I want to be a successful trader, but they're only watching the first 5 minutes of an hour-long video that's packed with information. How can you be successful doing that? It's why I'll do what I do. It's why I'll share. It's why I'll be brutally honest. Because at the end of the day, man, trading is first and YouTube is secondary, right? YouTube is secondary, and I've worked hard enough to become a successful trader so I can share this stuff and not have to worry about someone unsubscribing. That doesn't matter, not at all. So guys, you have to hold yourselves accountable as a consumer, as the student. And if you are someone, I know this might be a smaller percentage of people, but if you're someone who's on the other side of things, who are posting content or is a teacher, you got to be very careful with how you word certain things, how you phrase certain things, so that you can protect yourself and give the most transparent and honest approach to your field of study. Guys, that'll do it for this video. You guys know who I am. For those of you who are subscribed, guys, I'm a relentless trader. If you're new watching on, hit that thumbs up button, turn on the notifications, join the community. I am a relentless trader. I trade breakouts, momentum, scalping. That's what I do, and I'll continue to do that for a very, very long time, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't believe I'm leaving anything out. It was a complete video, a good review. You know, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission's cracking down on warrior trading and some of the other communities out there, the other businesses out there, to let them know, hey, if you're doing this thing, you got to make sure to do it the right way, the transparent way. And so that's the size of it, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you're watching to this point, type spring water. If you're watching to this point down below, type spring water. Let me know that you made it to the end of the video. We just got to be careful all over, you know, and so I would like to see more of this, not just in the day trading field, but, you know, in outside of that, right? The other financial fields, when we talk about banking and all these different things. I mean, the reason why the market was even able to collapse in 2008 was because of a lack of regulation and you know, people opening their eyes to certain things, right? Turning a blind eye. When GameStop had that big move, and, you know, we had these big brokers not allowing us to buy shares anymore. I mean, these things, I mean, it's so wrong, you know, and should be illegal, all to protect the big guy, you know. So it's so sad. There's so many things out there that people are turning a blind eye to. You know, I had watched the documentary on the 401k, and we could say phenomenon, really, because what's going on with that is just absolutely crazy. A lot of people in the 401ks are getting robbed blindly, and these big corporations are ripping them off and not even having to deal with any backlash. You know, when we talk about these big companies that are not paying any money in taxes year after year, and no one is saying shit about it. It's like, if we could have only had more transparency and consistency through and through all the industries and all the fields, the world would have been so much of a better place. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, you have a certain amount of people with money, and, you know, they have the influence. And so with money and influence, it's hard for the other 90% of people to have change, you know. So, you know, a lot of these, I don't want to get into conspiracy, but a lot of these people are just puppets, in my opinion, man. So, you know, I would want to see more of this, checks and balances across all fields, not just trading. Can we see some more? Can we see more equality all across the board? Guys, that's where I'm going to end this one. It's been Relentless Trader. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. I am, of course, signing out.